Okay, so we are in the Osaka airport, really big airport, and there's shopping here. So I don't have a whole lot of time because somebody wanted to go to the lounge and it's far away and it's not a good lounge. Anyway, doesn't matter. But I'm back. So we have Gucci, we have Bulgari, we have Dior, we have Hermes, we have Louis, and we have Chanel. So I think I am going to, oh, we also have Loewe apparently, just on the Loewe side. So I think we are going to manage our time, and we are going to focus on Louis Vuitton and Chanel. So, oh, Loewe, that's interesting. It's just like a little booth. Let me flip you around so you can get the lay of the land. Okay, so here's the little Loewe little, I don't know what it is. And then there's Dior. It's pretty big. And down at the very end there was Gucci. Then there was Bulgari. Here is Hermes. I'm not gonna bother you guys to go to Hermes because they never seem to have anything that anybody would ever want. Like I would like a Kelly belt, but they just never seem, like I said, to have. So, then we have Chanel up ahead, and Louis is across the way. So, let's start at Chanel, I guess, and see what they have. She wouldn't let me film in the store, but here are two beautiful shiny bags. She didn't show me these. So I wish I could have taken a picture for you guys. It was all sequins in black, and then it had, like when you stepped away from it, you could see like a CC and a heart. Oh my God, it was gorgeous. It was also $15,000. It was one of those price upon request bags. So yeah, but it was beautiful. All right, I'm going into Louis now to see if they have any petite malls or maybe a mini carousel. We'll see. All right, here we are. It is almost time to take off to go to Taipei. I found something that I loved at Louis Vuitton, or I didn't find it. They didn't have it. They sold it yesterday, unfortunately. So I will continue the quest to see. They had no special petite malls. They had the regular one. They had no special capucines. I mean, they had a couple that were like touches that were colors that I didn't like. It was a pretty big store. I'm sorry I couldn't film in there either. And I also didn't have a lot of time. So anyway, we're just gonna relax. It's not a super long flight. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something. And yeah, and then we'll be in Taipei for 5 nights, and then I think we're in Singapore for 5 nights. So yeah, excited for part 3. Hey guys, we are in Taipei. It's a little late. It is, let's see, 1:25 in the morning Japan time, which means it is 12:35 in the morning in Taipei. It's an hour earlier here, but you know, for all intents and purposes, we feel like it's 1:35 because we've been on Japan time for the past almost basically 2 weeks. So anyway, let's do a room tour. We have a very nice room here. We got a suite, which is very nice. I'm loving the selfie mirror here. So yeah, let's check out the room. All right, so you walk in and we have this, well, there's a guy came with the room. How cool is that?
What?
I said a guy came with the room. How cool is that? Anyway, a very handsome guy. Anyway, here is this lovely, very large selfie mirror. So I'm incredibly appreciative of that. And then here we have our living area. So we have a nice little welcome gift there. We've got a sofa and a chair. And then over on this side, we've got the TV and some cabinetry. And then David is, we have a little like wet bar kind of area here. David is dismantling the refrigerator in order to, I don't know, accommodate things. It's a very large room. And then we walk in here and we have this whole like dressing area. So we have, let's see, we have a closet here, a wardrobe on this side. That was loud, sorry. And then a little bench here so you can sit down, I guess, and put your shoes on. And then on this side is the safe, and then a bunch of shelves and things to store. I guess these cabinets do not have soft close on them, so you have to be gentle when you close them. And then here is the bathroom, which is really nice. We've got this nice big soaking tub. And then over here, we've got me, and we've got double sinks, which is nice. And then I'm assuming one of these, this is the, walk-in nice shower with the rainfall, and then the extra, is that, no, yes, and an extra one that you can pull off, and a bench, and in case you get tired while taking a shower, which I always think is amusing. And then here is obviously the toilet, and maybe David will be happy because I do think that might be like a fancy toilet. He's into the fancy toilets. And then you come into the bedroom, which is a really nice size. We have a giant, that is bigger than a king size bed. That I think is 2 double beds pushed together, because that's what we had last time, but it wasn't made up as a king size bed. It was made up as 2 double beds pushed together. But that is, no, are you kidding? Now we've got miles apart from each other. Anyway, over here we've got some more cabinetry and some drawers and a little desk area, and then obviously the TV. And then out this window, we have a view of this Ferris wheel. I have no idea what that is. Any of you familiar with Taipei? Chime in, let me know what that is. I'll assume I'll find out what that is tomorrow, but not gonna find out what that is tonight. So that is the obligatory room tour. Like I said, very nice room, really big, lot of space. Which is kind of nice. I have to say, it was nice to be able to kind of spread out also in the last hotel when we were in Kyoto. But no half bath. So yeah, David will have to share with me. Or at least the getting ready area he'll have to share with me, which is what he didn't share with me in Kyoto. So anyway, we're going to get unpacked and hit the hay, as they would say, and we will see you tomorrow for day 1 in Taipei. Good morning from, I guess it's actually technically afternoon, from day 1 in Taipei. So we are at Starbucks. They're sticking up. We're at Starbucks. I just got my coffee. English, I would say, is much better here. I had my Google Translate out and had my order ready, and I could see she looked at the Chinese, and then she looked up at the English part because I have both showing, and she's like, yeah, we don't have caramel drizzle here, so we have caramel. I was like, oh, okay, good. So anyway, I did end up putting my Max Mara coat on because despite the fact that it says it's like 61 degrees, I'm freezing cold, despite having a heat tech shirt on from Uniqlo and my denim jacket from Louis Vuitton. So anyway, I don't know if losing weight is causing me to feel colder now or something, but yeah, I was freezing. So we went back up to the room after we walked outside for 2 seconds and got the coat. So anyway, we just kind of figured out what we're gonna do. So David just came back from getting an energy drink, and yeah, I think we're gonna hop on the bus and go. I don't know where we're going, but it'll be fun, whatever we're doing, because David always plans great things. I might be taking this video more for my children, but you guys might be interested too, but this is actually a junior high. Interesting that there's like a parking garage under it, but it is the, what does it say? Something experimental junior high. And look at this like cool building with like all these cool colors and stuff. Very colorful. Binjang? I'm probably butchering that, my apologies. But anyway, we just thought it was cool. So this is Taipei 101, is what the building name is. It is the tallest building in Taipei. It is the 11th tallest building in the world. Originally, David thought it was the second tallest building in the world. And I'm like, that really doesn't look that tall. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tall, but it is slightly shorter. It's about 100 feet shorter than One World Trade. It's about 200 feet taller than whatever the Sears Tower in Chicago is called now. I have no idea what its new name is, but that's what I call it. And for reference, whatever the building is in Dubai, the something Khalifa, whatever that's called, is like over 2,000 feet. So anyway, just thought I'd share. Would you like to tell the people where we're going?
We're going to the 11th, I just learned from Lisa, 11th tallest building in the world, Taipei 101.
Yeah, I already told you about that.
So I'm just repeating Lisa's intelligence now. So we're going there for shopping and for eating and for maybe some views and just our experience for today, Monday in Taipei.
I thought we were going to do this with the gondola thing. No?
We're doing a mini one today. We're not going to the top. We're just shopping, eating, blah, blah, blah.
And the blah, blah, blah. So we're in Taipei 101, and I thought I would show you these beautiful windows from Dior. So pretty. Not sure they're Christmassy, but they're beautiful. And then over here we have, I think we have Santa. And then there's Gucci over there and Cartier. I don't really understand this little Tiffany thing. And then a very large Louis Vuitton. I don't think this is Santa anything. I think this is just a little winter wonderland. Just little photo ops. So we are waiting to go into Din Tai Fung, which is apparently a very hot restaurant, and they just opened a branch or whatever, another location in New York. So we're actually should be up next. We are 1323 in the queue, and they are on 1322. But I'll show you when we get in here. They have all these little like robot things zooming around. I think actually one seats you, like one is like a robot hostess. And then I think one might deliver food. I don't know, it's very interesting. Very cute. So a robot does seat you, but we have a real hostess. But that's the robot hostess. That's so funny. Here's the other robot. I think this is the robot that serves you, because I think they put food on there. Oh, and then these people look like they're in a laboratory.
They're very famous for how many times they pulled the super.
Like I said, it looks like a lab. They look like they're in hazmat suits. So you scan the QR code so that you can do an online order. Yeah. Very interesting. So our first thing came out. It was the soy peanut noodles, which was in that bowl, but I just took a little bit and put it on this little plate. And we're still waiting on dumplings or wontons. No, dumplings, wontons, I don't know. And then we ordered the infamous dessert. So here are the dumplings. Wontons, I think, technically. They look delicious. I think it was shrimp and pork. Shrimp and pork. Definitely not kosher in this family, because this would be a double negative. So these are the infamous chocolate dumpling things.
So this is the famous chocolate dumpling at Din Tai Fung. Heard many good things about it in New York. And it is a dumpling with chocolate in the center of it, waiting to ooze into your mouth so you can enjoy a chocolate explosion. Here we go. That's the blooper. And here we go again. That is yummy.
That was pretty hilarious. So if you don't know this about me already, I've probably mentioned it maybe in other situations, I don't know. I don't like filled things. Now I eat sandwiches, like some people start getting really like obnoxious with me and like, how do you eat a sandwich? Here's the deal. I don't like biting into things that have very independent, different textures. So for example, a jelly-filled donut, no. Anything that Hostess makes, like a Twinkie, no. Chocolate-covered cherries, oh my God, send me over the edge. I was brave, and I took 2 bites out of one. One, I'm not a dark chocolate person anyway, and these were dark chocolate, so I knew I wasn't going to be a huge fan. And 2, it's just somehow chocolate in a dumpling fat dough. It's just, yeah, it's not my thing. I'm not a huge chocolate fan anyway, whether it was milk chocolate or, you know, semi-sweet or whatever, but I did try it. So like I said, I took 2 bites out of it, and then I gave the other one, the rest of it to David.
So Lisa,
and he's enjoyed it tremendously.
What are examples of filled things that have similar consistencies?
So David's question was, what is something that might be perceived as filled that I do eat? A Reese's peanut butter cup, right? Because it's generally, the peanut butter inside it is firm. It's not like a gel. I guess a lot of it's like if it's fluffy or jelly. Like I said, I can eat a sandwich. That's not going to be an issue. I like Snickers bars. I do not like Milky Ways. That, you know, again, too fluffy. I think it's a fluffy and a jelly, and David's laughing at me. Anyway, you didn't ask for any of this in this vlog. I was just explaining why I was not
education for your audience.
Okay, enough of that. The meal was delicious. It's a little late. I'm not really quite sure what we're doing for eating today. I ate a little breakfast at like 11, 10:30, and now we're eating this at like 5.
Some of your audience will call this a supper.
Yes, to some of you, David said this will be a supper. Anyway, we'll get something. We're going to go to the Christmas market or Christmas extravaganza, whatever it's called, and I'm sure there'll be some food there. Christmas land. And I'm sure that I will, we'll get something later, but goodness knows I don't want to see any more food for a while. So the robot is delivering food. There. And I guess it parks until somebody takes the food off. Like she's getting the food off now. And then she tells it that she got it. And now he's going somewhere else to deliver. That's so cool. So now he's empty. And he's going back to the kitchen, I presume, to get more food. Let's watch our little dumpling makers here. So he's the roller. And this guy's the flat, I don't know what he's doing. He's twisting. Fascinating process. Apparently they're famous for the number of folds that they put in their dumplings. So we stumbled upon this little Christmas area here. I don't know what that is up there. So I don't know if this is supposed to be like a Harry Potter themed ride, that's what they're supposedly riding on brooms. So cute. London Eye, London Bridge. Very cute. Welcome to Christmas Land in New Taipei City.
All ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold.
So apparently this is a very common thing in Asia, to have these like giant crossings where all of the traffic stops and you can cross, you know, at right angles like you normally would, and then you can cross diagonally like what we're doing, just like in the Shibuya crossing. I thought that maybe the Shibuya crossing was unique, but apparently it's not. I mean, it's unique from the standpoint that it is huge in numbers of people, but oh my, that was so loud.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow.
Happy day 2 in Taipei. Protein coffee in hand. We are on our way to do a gondola ride, so we should be able to see some great views, and then later we are going to the top of Taipei 101, which was where we were yesterday, but they have an observatory, so, you know, think like top of the Rock, top of the Chrysler Building, top of the Empire State Building, top of the Sears Tower, which is not called the Sears Tower anymore, but as I was talking to David, no one calls it the Willis Tower. We realized that, and then coincidentally, a very funny TikTok came across my feed this morning that talked exactly about that. It was...
He lives in Chicago.
Yeah, and that guy was, from Chicago. But he was... The whole premise was, you know, why in the world did Elon Musk think that anybody in the world was going to call Twitter X? And how stupid that was. He's like, you know, you can't train people something that's so ingrained. And his first example was like, you know, if you're from Chicago, you know, it's the Sears Tower. It changed in 2005, but nobody calls it that. And we were looking up the tallest buildings yesterday. I was like, look up how tall the Sears Tower is. And I knew it's not called the Sears Tower anymore, but I didn't know I couldn't remember what the new name was, because like I said, I just called it Sears Tower. And so anyway, and we looked it up, and it'll still give you the answer, by the way, if you say the Sears Tower into Siri.
The handrail and step
Anyway,
buttons
so we are
operated.
getting on the subway and headed to these fun things. And then I don't know what we're doing like later or anything like that, but we should have some good views of Taipei today. So we finished with the gondola, and we are now on our way to Taipei 101. Like I said, to go to the observatory. We just had a very fun experience on the bus. Pro tip: do not take the buses in Taipei. If you can't take the subway, take an Uber. Wow. I told David, I said, I sort of felt like I was on the bus with Sandra Bullock in Speed, and not in a good way. So yeah, that was an experience. That's like 30 minutes of my life I will never get back. And I think maybe like, you know, a couple minutes off of my heart and my back. I might have to go into traction after that ride. But anyway, definitely experience, but like I said, take our advice. Don't take the bus. So we are on the 89th floor, and we just took the fastest passenger elevator according to the Guinness Book of World Records. So, and it was very fast. It was like maybe 15 seconds. It was fast. And my ears popped. So this says that the Taipei 101 fireworks show began in 2005 to celebrate the building's completion. This world skyscraper fireworks show stunned the world and attracted the modeling of many high-rises in other parts of the world. And then over here in 2021, it was the world's first special 3D surround effect rotating fireworks was introduced at the Taipei 101 fireworks show. It has unique and sensational panoramic surrounded views that are created by launches from 4 directions as a highlight of the skyscraper fireworks show. All right, we are on the 91st floor, so now we are outside. So you can see this beautiful panoramic view. So all of these people are in line to see Onatani little exhibit here, which I think is very interesting because Otani is Japanese, but they have this whole like exhibition which has a couple of signed jerseys and then the actual 50-50 ball, which is right there. We'll see in a minute. That I also assume is signed. But yeah, it's this really interesting fascination for a player that's, like I said, not from their country. So this is the 50-50 baseball.
All right, we are about to go into the Laoe Street Night Market, which is supposedly the best night market in Taipei. There's a lot of them, but this is renowned as the very best. And we are in front of, where Lisa's going to scroll back to the right, in front of Zhangjiang Ziyu Temple, which is one of the predominant temples in Taipei, celebrating Mazu, the goddess of the sea temple. Very beautiful.
All right, and that over there is the entrance to the night market. So let's go. Somebody help me remember, please, what this type of art, I guess, is. Is it bias? Is that what it's called? So it's, hopefully you guys can see, it's 3D. And it has a name, and my, you know, middle school art is failing me, you know, art class is failing me now. So somebody in the comments, please remind me, or I'll probably Google it after I'm done filming this. So I remembered it before I Googled it. As I was stepping away, I'm like, wait, is it relief? And then I just Googled, what is relief in art? And sure enough, it's a model that comes off of a flat surface. So that's very cool. In fact, I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can really see the perspective that I'm seeing that shows that 3D. So hopefully there you can see. There it is. 3D coming out from the pretty cool. So we are stopping right away at apparently like an infamous, the best, what's it called?
Fuzu black pepper buns.
There you are. Anyway, supposedly this guy is the guy, and there's quite the line here, although it goes fast. So, but yes, I will show you when we get up there. So it's pork, green onions, and black pepper stuffed into like a bun thing that's then steamed or something, Anyway, hold on. I don't know. So they're making it, and then this is how they're cooked. Wow. In case you're wondering, this is the name of the stand, but it's literally right when you walk under the gate. It's the very first thing you come to. So this is what it looks like. Sort of like a, I don't know, a puff pastry or something. So there you can kind of see what the inside looks like. It's like a Hot Pocket or a, but not. So I just took a bite. Way too much black pepper for me. So if you really like pepper, then that's the food for you. I'm okay with pepper, but that was a lot of pepper.
It's good.
He likes it. He likes a lot of pepper. Yeah. Just lit his cigarette with the blowtorch. That was interesting. Not a lot of English here, so juicy chicken meat rolls. There you are. Assume there's just about anything you'd want to eat here. There's some squid for you. Apparently the Taiwanese like these games and gotcha things, the claw games as well. So I got a very traditional Asian delicacy, the churro.
And Lisa's going to compare it to churros in Spain. She's already convinced herself this is going to be an inferior churro.
Well, it can't be as good because there's no chocolate sauce to dip it in, so it's not really a fair comparison. Plus, I feel like the churros that my mom and I had in Spain were cinnamon and sugar. I have to go back to look at the footage. I was just looking at it the other day, actually. Probably would be better with chocolate. Have a little mini bar here. It's cute. No idea what that is. Maybe some kind of mushroom, I think. Look at these papayas. Wow. So you are definitely at a disadvantage here if you do not speak/read Chinese, because most of the signs that they have don't have English. So, and because there's some really interesting things here, like one thing that did have a sign was chicken ass. Yes, you too can eat chicken ass. But you know, if there wasn't any English on that, you'd have no idea what you're eating. Or they might tell you like a flavor, like that one back there, this guy right here. It was like guava and something else, but that doesn't help me if I don't know what it is to start with. Like, thanks for telling me the flavor, but the flavor what? Anyway, it's interesting. Like that. Who knows what that is? There's some names of some sauces in English, but again, other than the spiral potato things that was fairly obvious, all those things that were coated in like tempura or whatever, God knows what's under that. And me being the less than adventurous one, is not going to take a bite of something that I don't know what it is. I know that's bad, but like this. No English there at all. Who knows? Could be anything. But it is a lot of fun, I have to say, walking through here, and just there's so many people, and you know, there's also like merchandise, not merchandise, but like clothing and shoes and fruit. All these different exotic type fruits. And then there's, you know, socks with little creatures on them. Little purses. See, now, you know, if Hannah was little, there would be so many fun things to buy her. No idea. Not a clue. Like, what is that? No idea.
Okay.
So we're eating this barbecue chicken.
Barbecue Taiwanese chicken.
Barbecue Taiwanese chicken. And it has an excellent flavor. There was something that they were putting on that I think might have been, but we weren't really sure what it was. Could have been just paprika, could have been smoked paprika, I don't know. But we asked for them not to put it on, but
It's pretty amazing.
it's got a good flavor. Hey guys, welcome to day 3 in Taipei. I'm gonna let David tell you where we are because I don't remember the name. What's the name of the area we are in?
We are in Jiaming Shopping District. It's supposed to be a little bit of a feel of Ninjaru in Japan, the area that Lisa and I went to that was super trendy cool. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it was described as.
And then there's definitely food, like whatever is behind us here. Super popular, obviously. Right now I'm headed to Starbucks to get a peppermint mocha because they do not have peppermint mochas in Japan. However, they do have them in Taipei. And since it's a little chilly, I'm gonna get that. We'll show you around this area. It's very bustling. It kind of gives a little Times Square-esque, just with like some billboards and things, and there's definitely some like more typical stores. Like I'm seeing a Lush in front of me. I see a Uniqlo down there. We passed an Adidas and a Nike store.
Swatch is big here.
And Swatch is big here. Yeah, there's a huge Swatch store right directly across from me. So anyway, I'm gonna get my peppermint mocha and then we'll see what else we find. I see the Star of the Bucks. I see the Star of the Bucks next to the 7-Eleven, which, by the way, do not be fooled. The 7-Elevens and the Family Marts here are not anywhere very inferior to the ones in Japan. Yes, very disappointing. So this is a huge Starbucks. The actual like barista area is very, very small. Then you come up the stairs and there's this whole floor. Plus over here. And then you go upstairs to this floor. Trying to find a place to sit, which is kind of a challenge. Just went into a vintage store as well as like a vintage, it's called Second Street. They're all over Asia. There are tons in Japan and there are obviously ones here. I would say it's more heavy on like actual just like thrift kind of vintage sort of shopping things. But they do carry some luxury. It's all like they have it in cases. Very easy to find then. Nothing great. I will say though that I saw the Chanel. I saw it a couple times in Japan. It was kind of like almost like a newsprint sort of style. You guys, I'm sure I showed it in one of the videos that I had when I was vlogging. And it was significantly less here. Now, I didn't look at the condition or anything, but I would say it was probably at least 2,000 USD cheaper than in Japan. And that was, I think, probably without, they've got like a 5% tax back here. So not as good as Japan, but anyway. Yeah, it's just like I said, a very vibrant area, shopping district. Yeah, it's, as David said earlier to me, I would not equate it to the area that we were in where there were a ton of luxury stores in Tokyo. It's technically part of Shibuya, but it has a different name. It's like an area of Shibuya. Blanking on what it's called right now. Anyway, wouldn't say that. It's definitely more kind of tchotchkes, as we would say, as well as, you know, restaurants, and like I said, more like name brand, H&M, Nike, that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's still fun to walk around and see all the people and just observe. I mean, it goes on, and there's little alleys that go in and out. So, yeah, like I said, just fun to walk around. So there's lots of little, like, just like little independent clothing boutiques. I have no idea what brands they carry, but lots of, like I said, lots of stores like this. It kind of remind me of like the Buckle in the United States, if you're familiar. And then we have the plushies. All the plushies. You name it, they have it. So we are at a cat cafe. How fun is that? We were actually going to go to a pig cafe where they have like little, I don't know what kind of pigs, but anyway, I think in Kyoto, or maybe, no, in Osaka. I don't know why we didn't end up going. I don't know if it was going to be really expensive, and I don't know. Anyway, so we're at a cat cafe in Taipei. So once we actually get in and are with the cats, then I'll show you. But I'm just waiting for David, and yeah, how fun. We get to play with cats. We seem to have a lot of sleeping kitties. That's an interesting one over there. It's got like bobcat ears. This cat literally will not wake up. He's like, or she, I don't know. She's like, leave me alone, I'm sleeping. I've never seen a cat who like then like won't wake up when you start petting it. He's very soft though. I'd like to see your face. Hello. Lots of sleeping kitties. So many different types. And lots of different colorings too. Like that one. Look at his nose. Never seen a cat like that. So I'm definitely a cat person. I grew up with cats, not dogs, so I'm not a dog person. I don't hate dogs or anything. It's just, I'm just used to cats. So, I've been talking about getting a pet. Our children have been begging for years. And so we might get something. I'm thinking a cat just because you don't have to board a cat if you go away. Like, they're just lower maintenance than a dog. You don't have to take them out, you know, when it's raining and snowing and cleaning up after, and just, I know there are a million dog lovers out there, and I love you, and I get it. I just, at this stage of my life, I don't think I want like a higher maintenance pet, if we're gonna get a pet at all. This guy just came over here and he just like decided to sit behind this little basket here. It just seems like the most uncomfortable place. Like, why would you pick right here? So I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, but this is very reminiscent of the, I think they're African men who jump over people and do this whole routine in Times Square. But I don't know what this guy is doing. We just walked up. Afternoon from, as you can see, a rainy day in Taipei. We are in, do you know the name of the area?
The Nangxi shopping district.
The Nangxi, something like that, shopping district, which is sort of similar to the area that we thought we were going to yesterday. It's kind of like that cool area of Shibuya that also has a different name that I can't think of. But anyway, so there's a ton of like little boutiques, like independent clothing stores, like one after another. Yeah, so we're just. This is where the younger population hangs out, according to David. We're just, like I said, kind of walking around. This is our last full day in Taipei, and I guess the rain here is preparing us for the rain that we're going to get in Singapore, because it's basically forecast every single day has rain in Singapore, like kind of all day, but at least it'll be warmer raining there. Okay, so we're going to do this. I think we may be going to we're going to go get massages today down in the area that we were in last night, which was definitely not the place that we thought it was. This is the place that David, he was confused by, or didn't quite understand what our concierge told us originally. So I think we're going to do that. We have dinner reservations tonight at a nice steak restaurant, apparently, that our concierge made reservations for. And yeah, I don't know what else we're gonna do. I think there's maybe a mall here that's got luxury stores. We may go into that, especially because it's raining, and kind of looking for indoor things. But if we see anything interesting, actually this little bridge coming up here is interesting. It's got little, I don't know what they are, dangling from this like overpass, which is lights, which obviously will be completely non-impactful at the moment because it's daylight, but I'm sure at night this is gorgeous. So you can see this structure here, and then I guess these are like sort of snowflakey, ornamenty kind of things, and then you can see obviously there are all of these lights, so I'm sure this is breathtaking in the evening. when all these lights are on. Obviously right now, not so much, but these little sort of holographic looking ornaments are very pretty. So we are now going into the underground mall. Not sure what's here, but it's underground, which means it's covered. So, yeah, whatever it is, at least will stay dry. One thing I've noticed here, also in Kyoto, I think it was, they have a lot of bookstores, which I think is amazing. You know, they're kind of a dying breed in the United States, although I think Barnes & Noble is kind of having a resurgence maybe. But I've been amazed, and it was definitely in Kyoto where I would see lots of, you know, like kind of tween age kids reading books on the subway, which you will never ever see in New York, right? Everybody is on their phone in the subway, watching TikTok, mostly playing games because there's no Wi-Fi or no service like in between stations. Yeah, just an interesting observation. Okay, so we are essentially back in the area where we were last night, and we're going to get massages. There was like a whole slew of them to pick from, all with approximately the same price, like within 100 Taiwanese dollars. You know, it's kind of pick the one you think. I don't even know how you pick. So anyway, but yeah, so we're gonna do this, and then depending on how much time we have left, that will kind of dictate what we do after this, because we have 7:30 reservations for dinner. So obviously we need time to go back to the hotel. Actually the restaurant is near the hotel, but you know, in addition to that, want to change clothes, freshen up, all that kind of thing. So anyway, we're gonna investigate some massage places, and we'll let you know how they were. Thought I would show you guys all the different flavors of Lay's. Some of them say what they are, some of them don't. Like this one, but that I guess is crab, maybe, flavor. That's a little frightening. I don't know what that is. And that is obviously some other kind of, that could be beef or pork, I don't know. Then this is Swiss cheese flavored. And then over here we have Kyushu seaweed, excuse me, I can't speak. That looks like chicken flavored, and maybe barbecue. Again, some kind of meat. Lime, which is more normal. Kelp salt flavor. And then down, oh, there was one more I wanted to show you. It was like oh, here. How can we forget the creamy lobster flavor? Oh my. Yeah, I think I'm an OG kind of girl. Massage is complete. Here's the download on it. So I am a wimp, just in general, when it comes to massages. Like, I just want relaxing, just, you know, I'm not a deep tissue girl. And so I had to tell her several times softer when she was doing, like, we had like a 45-minute foot and like leg massage. So that I would say was not the most relaxing. But then we went up to do the full body massage. And what's interesting, I was trying to figure out what the difference was between a full body massage and then a full body massage with body oil. So my now understanding is that when you just do the regular full body massage, you are actually clothed during that, and they actually lay like a blanket on or a towel on top of you or whatever. So they're not touching your skin at all. And I thought, how's that gonna feel? And I don't know, like, it just seemed like how good of a massage could it be? Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was probably one of the best massages I've had, actually. Like, it was relaxing yet also beneficial, because I've had two pretty hard workouts the last 2 days. And yeah, so it was really, it was very good.
$30 for 90 minutes.
Yes, $30, 90 minutes. Best bargain around. So yeah, so I would give it a thumbs up. It was a good experience. I was very scared going into it because we had an experience in Vegas. I don't know, anyway. And it was a whole bunch of us that went, and Morgan and I had ours together, and I think we both have PTSD from it since then. Like we laugh about it now, but yeah. So especially given the language barrier, it's obviously more difficult to communicate whether something is good or it hurts or whatever. So yeah, I was, like I said, a little scared, and yeah, it ended up being great. So that was awesome. So we are now, unfortunately, it took us a while to figure out which one we wanted to go to, and we ended up walking around a whole bunch. So by the time we picked the one we wanted to go to, and we did a 90-minute one, it basically took us up to essentially dinner time. So we are not going back to the hotel. We are going directly to dinner. In fact, we're just across the street from it. And yeah, so hopefully it'll be a nice dinner. And it just seemed, literally by the time we would have gotten to the hotel, we would have had to have turned around and walked back, because it's like 4 blocks from our hotel. So anyway, I'll turn the camera around and show you this pretty front of the building, and then we'll see you at dinner. This is where we're eating dinner. Hey friends, well, no outro there, especially since I was doing it over several days, but I hope you enjoyed the Taipei vlog. I'm trying to wrap up the Asia trip as fast as possible, so I know this was a really long vlog, but we knocked out Taipei in one video, and I'm hoping to do the same for Singapore. And then I can do unboxings, which I know you guys are all waiting for, as am I. So just a little follow-up on that massage that was towards the end of the video. So I really did enjoy it initially, and then the next day I thought I was gonna die. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but she massaged my legs so hard. I had bruises. So there was a spot like on my kind of lower thigh on my right side that when she got to it, she like kept pointing to my other leg and sort of like gesturing like it not there. I think what she was trying to tell me is there was a knot or something in my right lower thigh that wasn't in my left lower thigh. And so she spent probably 5 to 7 minutes working on that and trying to, I don't know, but it hurt so bad. And the next day I was black and blue from what she did. So it was enjoyable and relaxing, especially the full body when I had it, but then I definitely felt it the next day. So anyway, just thought I'd give you that little update. I'm wearing this beautiful, it's called French Rose, I think. It is sold out. It was a like sale crown, and since it is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we wear pink, I thought I'd pull out a pink crown to wear. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to keep on watching, there'll be another video over in the corner here for you to watch. And wherever you are, I hope you are having an amazing day or evening, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.